Okay. Do I have a terminal open? Yes, I do. Okay, so okay. I think this is where we finished yesterday, day before yesterday, or whenever it was. Are you? Yeah, you're recording. Everything's good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we added the NixD language server plugin to NixVim. Was there anything else on that we wanted to play with, or is that a good stopping point?
Well, I have not reached a conclusion regarding whether these packages that come by default with this NixVim, how it sets up NVim LSP,
Mm-hmm.
whether they whether they would take precedence over the equivalent command on that it is in the path. I think we can easily check
this. Okay. So you're referring to, is this the package attribute of the plugin, or no? I'm not sure. I'm quite. Can you say that
yes,
again? Yeah.
sibling to enable.
Uh-huh.
There's a package, typically.
Right. Yep. And that's
And
usually default is true, false, or not null, something like that.
the default is a package that provides that language server.
Right. Okay. Default is null, or no. Default is like packages dot, some package name from Nix packages, something like that.
In this case, NixD.
Yeah.
Now, this is not it. This can be confusing, but this is like, and I don't know what is, I think, so there are two ways to set up language servers
Mm-hmm.
in NixVim. One is through the NVim LSP plugin, which is what we've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And another one is without it.
Okay. And you rely on that executable being made available in path somehow. Or
I think those options multiply.
okay. What do you
Take
mean
a look at the docs
specifically?
again.
Yeah.
See, this is LSP, not plugins LSP. You have plugins LSP. And they both have
What's it? Plugins dot LSP dot servers.
a package option for each server. That was pressing enter too soon.
I see.
The search is not that intuitive. So this is the NVim LSP plugin that provides default configurations.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so every plugin provides typically some Lua options that users of the plugin would configure, and ideally NixVim exposes all those options to you through, the things. I guess the package is not really something that you can think of as like a plugin option. It's just where to find the executable. But then all of these things like package fallback, well, that is something else too.
Let's take a look at package fallback. What is that?
When enabled, the language server will be added. Language server package added to the end of the path instead of at the beginning. So it will look for. So if you use this, if you enable this to true, and you have something in path with the same.
This is what I was looking for.
Okay.
This
Yeah, this
should
will
be true by default, in my opinion.
right. And I guess this is just one example of, like, is package fallback a common, like, is that an option you find in all the other LSP servers, or is that something
I'm just
that's
making a note for myself to enable this for all of them.
sure? Yeah.
NixVim plugins LSP.
Server,
Name,
yeah, Nix.
server, package, fallback.
Okay. Where's that? Where were we? So
Oh,
yeah,
thank you.
actually, so I guess in the context of NixD, if we set this to true and heck NixD is available in path through some other means, that NixD would be used instead. And I guess in what situations is that useful?
Well, for NixD, it's not very useful, I suppose. Maybe if you have a problem with NixD and you want to try a different version, why don't you just make it available on the path, and you'd be immediately able to use it instead of whatever comes with NixVim. So that's useful. But I can see with languages that are more mature than Nix,
Mm-hmm.
you can have the language server in different versions. You can have it's more important than in Nix. It can have a particular feature that is missing or a bug.
Right.
Maybe it actually needs to match the rest of the language tooling.
So, question on this with I guess NixVim in general, making a change to say any of the Nix files that ultimately impact the nixvim.base attribute in some way, those will not be reflected until what exactly? Like, is it if I were to do nix run dot hash nixvim, that would obviously I think be reflected. But
Of
if I
course, yeah.
want,
There's only one NixVim to build.
yeah. But if I want to, so like right now on the command line, sorry. I believe this is the Nixon supplied NeoVim, right? And so if I
Yes,
just run,
through environment.system packages.
say that again.
Environment.system packages.
That's right. That's, oops. Yeah, okay. Okay, so then just to try to refresh my memory, to update my version of um, NeoVim that is in path, I need to do a NixOS rebuild. Maybe not switch, or switch would work, but
Switch is when you're happy with it.
yeah,
Test is
switch.
when you want to
Okay,
activate and see what it looks like.
okay, and
But you
this
should
one.
already be that's true for most things, but for things that you have set up as flake outputs for yourself to be able to test individually,
Mhm,
then you should probably already be happy with it. You know whether you're happy with it. You don't need, right, because you can do the Nix run trick,
mhm.
and then if you're happy, you go ahead and do a switch.
So yeah, okay. So basically, playing with plugins or changing anything related to the NixVim attribute set, just do a NixVim run, Nix run dot hash NixVim, and make sure it works as expected, and then that's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just making sure. But and mostly just like I don't have that muscle memory, so
Mm-hmm.
trying to remember. Okay. Um,
So let's see whether you have Nix D now.
mm, it's not in path,
It's not in
but
path.
yeah. Um, I guess is there a way to?
You don't have bindings that are useful for this.
Yeah, what do you mean? Like having the configuration of NeoVim where all the
LSP. Yeah.
LS settings are.
LSP related, like go to definition,
Mhm.
show references, all these things.
Okay, like essentially unlocking all the benefits of LSPs. That none of that is configured at the moment.
That's right.
Okay. Um. Well, I guess yeah. We kind of have a question. Do we want to go down that rabbit hole, or do we want to get Home Manager set up and then go down that rabbit hole, or something else?
Mm, I think Home Manager technically set up is it's quite straightforward. It doesn't need a lot of coding, a lot of tinkering.
Hmm.
So let's do that, and then we can
Yeah.
iterate.
Yeah, that would be nice too, because then I could actually start playing with this on a couple machines and ironing out some bugs if there are any, or at least just starting to use the
Well,
same environment on multiple machines.
these are different things, right? Like setting up. So Home Manager can be used to set up a user's home
Hmm.
in like a standalone mode,
Hmm.
in which it comes with a CLI for that is similar to NixOS Rebuild.
Hmm. Yeah, Home
It's called
Manager.
Home Manager,
Yep.
and it supports like the vanilla standalone, you know, Nix file as an
Right.
entry point,
Right.
and it also supports Flake output entry point.
Hmm.
Another way in which it is similar to NixOS Rebuild.
Right.
What we're going to do here, if you take my advice, is set it up as part of not standalone, but as part of your NixOS configuration.
Okay. Wait. So as part of the NixOS configuration, meaning.
It's a good question. Yeah, there are subtleties. What does that mean, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, first it means that it is one tree of it is in the same runtime tree as your NixOS activation script, right? The what we call config system build top level.
Okay.
It's part of that tree.
Okay.
But how does Home Manager work? How does a user's home get set up? Right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, the I guess in the context of NixOS, you have to specify users with some things like default shell and the groups they're in, or maybe a few other things.
These two things that you said are NixOS things, are not Home Manager
Yeah,
things.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, but you asked how does the home get set up, and that was so in the context of NixOS, home for individual users, gets set up in whatever that users.user attribute set is, and then those result in /home/ whatever user getting configured and given the correct groups and permissions and whatnot, and various, I guess, system level services you might choose to activate for users, I guess. I don't know. But then after that, the home manager side of it, if you're using it through a single top level NixOS configuration, I'm not sure. I saw that is a way that people do use it, but I never used it that way. I only used it in the standalone way with Flakes. So basically, it was kind of orthogonal to my NixOS configuration or to my Ubuntu configuration. It was just a flake.nix and a flake.lock and a home.nix, I think. Yeah. In fact, yeah, I mean, this is what I have currently. It was some stuff in here, most of it boilerplate, and then a few things
Is this
related.
activated or is just a
Yeah,
repository?
this is activated. So very minimal. But yeah, like Starship and Git configuration and a few aliases, like,
I see.
yeah. So this like that. It's in here. Yeah. So like, yeah, but yeah, so your recommendation, however, is to not do Home Manager standalone, but instead to do it as a, I guess what's the terminology? As a NixOS module.
Yes.
Okay, so supposing you do it that way, then how does that interact with a system which does not use NixOS? Or is it? It doesn't. You have.
That's what prompted me to paint the picture, the bigger picture for you, because there are modules
Mm-hmm.
where we're doing dendritics or doing many modules, and modules merge, and eventually they can be evaluated into a configuration.
Mm-hmm.
Modules are shared between configurations,
Mm-hmm.
or they can be.
Mm-hmm.
We currently have one NixOS configuration,
Mm-hmm.
but we've already set things up in a way that we could easily add another NixOS configuration that will reuse base and PC.
Mm-hmm.
And that's true for Home Manager modules as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And the same is true for Home Manager configuration. It is
So,
not supposed to be shared between multiple computers, multiple deployments. Each deployment should have its own configuration, whether it's nested within an NixOS configuration,
mm-hmm.
or it's standalone, or it's nested within a NixDarwin configuration.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but I
One
guess
deployment, one config.
that that one config, it can have pieces of it which are identical across deployments and therefore can be shared. Is that
Modules, yes.
yeah, modules, I guess. So what you're saying is, if I understand correctly, is that we can go down this path with NixOS being the first deployment of Home Manager, but
This NixOS configuration.
yeah, this NixOS configuration is one deployment, but adding another deployment to a non-NixOS use case would not be, uh, you know, a duplication of all of that work. It would be, maybe 90% gets reused or something like that. Is that an accurate?
99%. Yeah.
90, yeah. Okay. So like most of it gets reused.
But you
And
don't
it's,
walk away with when we end up deploying, right?
mhm,
For this machine, you don't walk away with something that you can like Nix run on some other machine.
not
I mean,
initially.
you
Yeah.
you can, not really because it is nested inside the NixOS configuration. It's you don't have the you have like you won't have a flake output
Mhm.
for this.
Okay. But so for example, though, we currently have NixVim as a flake output. And that was how I was able to, I cloned my repo and I just, nix run dot
Hmm.
hash nixvim and it worked on a Ubuntu
Hmm.
machine, which is great. Um, that would still be true. And, regardless of whether or not I don't even know the terminology, but we make that nixvim available through Home Manager instead of system packages. The way we've done it so far. Like that
Yes.
NixVim top level output would still be available, and we
Hmm.
could, change how it gets deployed, whether it's, installed as a system level thing or instead as a user level thing. And eventually we could, add another deployment for, a non NixOS machine, but still able to
A
use.
specific
Okay.
non-NixOS machine.
Okay. So essentially, okay,
One
I see what.
deployment, one configuration.
Okay. And I guess the reason for that is because, like, which parts of the Home Manager config, like, I'm looking at, all of this stuff, right? It's, um, you know, these packages I would want on every machine, right? At least that's my
Hmm.
thinking now, but maybe not every machine. I don't know. Like, there's a subset of these packages, for example, like, that I would want every one of these. uh, there's a subset of packages here that I would want on every machine, just to sort of have this, a similar environment on all my machines.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I guess, yeah, what is it about? Like, none of this stuff strikes me as machine specific or deployment specific. I guess the user.name. I don't know. That's all git config stuff. Yeah. So I guess, I mean, maybe you should just show me what you mean. And maybe
Yep.
I'm just not quite.
You are right to ask. There is one near the top.
Uh-huh. This one or settings.
Not yet. Not
This.
this. Well, this could be, right? Maybe
Yeah.
it's not your machine and you were given some other username that you're not
Yeah,
used to.
actually, that is true. My other username on my other machine is like Luke-Peterson rather than Luke. So, yeah, okay. State version, I guess that's another one, perhaps, that
Correct.
will be varying in time. Okay,
This
but
is
like,
tied to a deployment.
okay, so there's a subset of these home manager configuration settings that are tied to specific deployments. Others which are, and so those would be consolidated, I presume, into a named uh, deployment for specific, you know, machine or
We
yeah.
already did this with your NixOS, right?
Hmm.
Can you find that P14 file?
Yeah. Where was it?
Host.
Where was it? It was under host.
Host.
Mm-hmm.
All of this is specific to a deployment. The
Hmm.
deployment
Okay.
on particular hardware.
Hmm.
It also has state version. It has a host name.
Okay.
NixOS has more of this than Home Manager, but it's
Right.
the same
Yeah. Home
principle.
Manager is going to have a smaller version of this, and then a number of imports that would be identical across deployments, I presume. But yeah, okay. I think I see what you're saying. But the pattern is similar, basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah.
Also, when you do standalone Home Manager,
Mm-hmm.
then you have to and you do it as a pure configuration where you instantiate the configuration yourself, and instead of doing the impure classic thing,
Mm-hmm.
you have to contend with the instantiation of Nix packages and system, which is not currently the case in your activated Home Manager.
Okay.
When
I
it
think I
is
see
part
what.
of NixOS, then these things are inherited.
I see.
Nix packages is inherited
And system is
typically.
also inherited. Okay. Which I guess impacts the packages that you. Oh, it impacts the configuration of Home Manager too. It needs to propagate all those same system settings, like through those Home Manager settings. Is that
Uh,
maybe? I don't know.
yeah. I'm not sure that you can imagine them correctly, but technically, yes.
Okay. I guess the only other thing from a practical perspective is that when you want to update your Home Manager configuration, you like I seem to recall during my initial reading up on this that the NixOS module approach means that you would update your home manager through NixOS rebuild switch or test, as opposed to home manager like
CLI.
command. Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. He won't use that home manager CLI in this
Okay.
because
And
it
so
is
like
activated together.
yeah, I guess like the upside of that is it's like a single way to update your system and your home manager configuration all at once.
Kind of. I mean, ideally, but that's where it gets a bit complexy,
mhm.
and we need to understand this complexity.
Right. Because so how is it?
I can see that you're trying to read, and I'm
Mhm,
being quiet only because you're showing initiative and reading stuff, but
mhm.
like I can keep talking and explain this all to you.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Please do.
Both Home Manager and NixOS configurations provide us with some derivations. Most
Mhm.
commonly, we use one of these derivations. The config system, in NixOS, it's config system build top level. In Home Manager, I don't remember. They are activation scripts.
Okay.
They are meant to be these scripts, activation scripts. They are meant to be run. They can deploy from scratch,
Mhm.
and they can deal with an existing deployment and like activate a new generation. And they know how to like create another generation. In the case of NixOS, add another boot entry. So
Mhm, mhm.
they do mutative things on
The system.
no
Yeah.
minimal mutative things on an existing deployment.
Mhm, mhm.
On the contrary, NixVim that you have on as a flake output is not doing that. It's just a program that you can run.
Mhm.
So it is there's no reason to couple it with any particular deployment. There is no deployment.
Right. Okay.
It's just a program. You run it
You're just
here, you run it
managing the
there.
configuration of a program through a Flake output, effectively.
A what of a program?
Yeah, the configuration of a program is managed through a Flake, essentially, of the Flake output.
Why configuration though?
Well, I mean, NixVim has a lot of settings. I think of those settings as configuration. So, like, we're managing the NixVim configuration through a number of things that ultimately yield a Flake output at the top level.
True, and the only reason we have that is for faster iteration.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or maybe if you want to like do a new NixOS deployment or a new home manager deployment on some machine, you can install Nix or boot a NixOS and then run your NixVim
Mm-hmm.
just to help you get around,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
like make a new one.
Right.
But it's secondary, right? It's like it's an added value to have it in as a flake output. It's convenience.
Yeah. Sure.
So it's a big difference. These are activation scripts.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Every time we do a NixOS rebuild, something we use, well, test executes activation script, switch activates activation script. Boot probably also does with like an argument that is instructs it to do a very minimal thing, which is not activate, but just only add to the boot entry.
Mm-hmm.
Activation occurs on every boot.
Okay.
There is a systemd unit that activates the generation that was selected in the boot entry, in the boot menu.
I see. Okay. So, okay. Essentially, yeah, somehow that choice in the boot entry needs to propagate to the right overall system settings, and that is through systemd.
It's a matter of deploying some symlinks throughout
Mm-hmm.
the file system.
Mm-hmm.
Symlinks that typically point at the store, the Nix store.
Right. Right. Yeah, I mean, controlling the path, I guess, is, and I guess symlinks as well.
Let's take a look at this NixOS activation script.
Okay.
Or at least not the script, but like just the files that are in this config system build top level.
Okay. Where do I look at that?
Use Nix build to build it. .hash NixOS configurations, that.
This whole thing?
Yes. P14S personal is the configuration evaluated.
Okay.
Under config is the like all of the configuration values. There are more things. There's some metadata. You see there's a activate
Mm-hmm.
executable here.
And a dry activate as well. Yeah.
And home manager will be similar.
Okay. So, so this is the script that I guess is run when you do a NixOS rebuild switch. Is that right?
And on every boot.
And on every boot. I see. And it's run at what point in the boot? It's like after.
Super early.
Okay, like it's invoked by systemd early on, essentially.
It's probably in the initRD.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, because it needs to set up all the rest of the systemd units.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything else depends on how this all gets set up.
Otherwise, those units, where they come from?
Right.
No, it all comes from the result of this script activated.
Okay. Okay.
And this is set up for us.
Right.
Now, next, we want a home for your user,
Mm-hmm.
also activated as a result of a home manager configuration.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that also has an activation script.
Okay.
And we, unfortunately, need to be aware of that, because that activation, it is distinct from the NixOS one.
Mm-hmm.
So the NixOS one can succeed. I mean, it must succeed, otherwise you don't really boot successfully.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
But the home manager one can fail to activate, which means you have a discrepancy between the NixOS generation and the home manager generation.
Mm-hmm. I see.
And you're like in your old home.
Okay.
So as soon as home manager is integrated into NixOS, then the NixOS activation script can trigger the home manager activation script. But it's only a triggering, and it's not a hard, a failure does not propagate.
Okay. So like home manager can fail, but NixOS can succeed. The activation scripts.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
There are two modes. In one mode, the home manager activation script is triggered by the NixOS activation script, like at boot and
Mm.
NixOS rebuild switch. And that is not always desirable, because some users may have their homes not necessarily available at boot. For example, an encrypted home that is decrypted by the
On
user
login.
logging in.
Right. Okay. Okay. And the
In
choice of
which, Mhm.
encrypted home is like to sort of segregate full disk encryption, perhaps, from user level encryption.
Yes, I
Okay.
think for a PC that does not have any system level data,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, maybe it has some logs, but who cares about those?
Mm-hmm.
I might not even go for full. Currently, I do have, on all my PCs, I have the full disk encryption.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens when a user, okay, there's me and there's my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do I want my wife to know the full disk encryption passphrase on a PC that I use?
That's a good question. Yeah.
Okay. So what I really want is the encryption to be coupled with the user login.
Okay.
Each user
Yep.
gets their own. Each user can boot the PC without even typing in any encryption
Mm-hmm.
passphrase, and whomever logs in gets their home decrypted.
And if your wife needs to power cycle the PC, she talks to you for the full disk
Why?
encryption password.
I
Assuming you have full disk encryption, unless you've given her the
I
password.
currently do, but I don't want that anymore.
Yeah, yeah, I
Since I've
could see that.
learned, because I want to give her my laptop.
Mm-hmm.
If her laptop is down for maintenance, whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
Why, like, we have the power of Nix, so she should have the same home, the same experience
Yeah. Yeah.
on all my machines.
Right.
Here, use my computer.
Right.
No,
Right.
but it's not my computer. No, it is. Here, look.
Yeah. 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 Exactly. Okay. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
and similarly, like if friends that you want to give a login to, or kids that, you want to, anyone you want to share a computer with, essentially.
sure.
Yeah.
And for this case, again, we cannot activate a user's home manager home
Hmm.
before they sign in and decrypt.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we
There needs-
use the second option, which defers that activation to be the kind of the starting point of their system D. System D is also a user level thing.
Mhm.
It has user units and it can activate their home when they log in,
Okay. And then the other
which
thing you
which
mentioned,
can also fail.
right, right. But
And
that
then
would
they'd be
be
stuck in their previous generation.
right. But that failure would be experienced by them on or after login sometime.
They wouldn't even know it, I suppose. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, unless there's something like critically coupled between the NixOS generation and the home manager generation.
Hmm. Right. I guess, yeah, if you have something that's requires both to be updated, but the first one, or yeah, one fails, the other tries to, yeah, it could cause. Okay. Yeah. I think I see what you're saying. One thing you mentioned earlier was
Hmm.
system level logs. Um, I guess maybe that's not. I guess that's, potentially a security concern. Um, but
There is a thing that can be done about that.
okay, okay,
It's the TPM devices that PCs have today.
mm, I see.
They can. It, it's not. It's not like a perfect solution, of course, but they carry keys, and keys can be inserted into them, and so you can have still full disk encryption that is automatically decrypted. You don't need to enter any passphrase, but you can't really reach that data if you can't log in, right? Because you will be faced with just a prompt to log in. And if you take the storage device out of the machine, it's just encrypted and will remain encrypted. So you would have to like somehow extract the key from the TPM. And it's like, that's where this outside my pay grade.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. Okay. Okay, so basically you're suggesting, so this is a choice we have to make. Like if we want this home manager to activate after user login rather than,
That's just an option. You can change that at any time.
okay, that's just a simple option. Okay, so I guess, yeah, what other considerations are there? So aside from that piece, there's like, in order to update the home manager configuration for, um, I guess any deployment. Now, does that, when you say deployment, that could be, that's coupled with a host, right? In this approach, like we would need to have, for example, if I had multiple users who are going to be using home manager on my P14S, they each need to be somehow coupled to that specific deployment of NixOS. And then if they, if I had another machine with the same users, with ideally the same home manager configuration, that will be another, deployment of home manager, perhaps without NixOS. If it was, say, an Ubuntu machine.
When home manager is nested inside NixOS,
Mm-hmm.
you don't get to instantiate a configuration explicitly. That kind of just happens. You just provide the modules for each user. So yeah, you do end up with a home manager configuration for each user, for which there is one, for which you have provided some modules.
Mm.
And if you wanted another to use home manager on another machine, you'd make a home manager configuration for that machine that reuses whatever modules you want.
Okay. And if that other machine is not a NixOS machine, that should be no problem.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
If you don't
Yeah.
have more questions, we should probably set it up. I mean,
Yeah.
compared to how much we talked about it, it should look surprisingly easy to set up.
Yeah. I think we should get going. Let's do it. Okay, so yeah, where do I get started here?
Well, you can take a look at mine.
Sure. Okay, so yours is
I think it probably starts in for me it starts. I don't use Flakefile yet, so it starts in flake.nix.
Okay.
But for you, it'll start in home manager. Maybe home manager.
Okay, so
Lib.
you have oops, that was
I think here you'd make a directory.
okay, so you have flake.nix, and then separately you have like your home manager directory with some things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in my context, I will need a directory, probably just home manager.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I will want
Flake input or
okay.
yeah.
Is it inputs or input?
There's one. There's only one.
Okay. Yeah. So then Sorry. Okay, so this is going to be okay. Actually, interesting. My formatting is not working.
Is this the editor that you mean to run? Is this your NixVim?
Yeah, it is. I think it is. It's also, you know what? It's because it's a new file. I think. I think we had this before.
Oh, you can E. Does that help?
No. Okay, that helps. That's interesting. Maybe we can think about that later, but it's not get added, but yeah, I had to, E didn't do it, but closing and reopening did. Strangely. Okay.
Maybe you did not start the editor from this directory.
I did not, but I also didn't in when I reclosed and opened it. I also did not.
Mm.
Should I be following Nix packages with
This is flake false.
yeah, okay, so if flake is false, then yeah, so actually my mental model of how this works when flake is false is not very clear to me. So I
What
gather that you're saying there's no need to follow. But exactly
when
why that is the case is
when flake is true, which is the default,
mhm,
the input is fetched,
mhm.
and then the flake lock and the flake nix are evaluated, and what you get is not just a what you get is an adder set. The input is an adder set with the flake outputs. Not your flake outputs, that inputs flake outputs.
Okay.
It's treated as a flake. It is evaluated as a flake. Its outputs function is called. Its inputs are passed in as arguments. Self is passed in as an argument.
Mhm,
Its own self,
mhm.
and you get access in your flake to the outputs of that flake. What we're doing here is we are opting out of all of that. All
Okay.
we get is the fetching, the locking and the fetching. And the input for us is a store path.
Okay.
Therefore,
Okay.
follows does not apply.
Okay. I believe you. It's still a bit fuzzy, but I think we should continue. Okay, so we've established this file, which I think the next step means we need to write the flake.
Correct.
Um,
Show us the diff.
uh, um,
Git diff.
that's right. There is no git diff.
So I think it's
Yeah,
untracked.
yeah.
No. I do this with intent to add so that it's still. Oh, there you go. You did that. Good. So
I just
git diff.
did.
Do
Yeah,
the write again. Now a git diff. Okay.
hmm
So you have a flake input.
yeah, yeah.
Now let's, similar to how we placed the nixvim lib. Remember that we did that?
hmm
We placed it
Yes.
in the global, as a global arg.
Yeah. When did we do that?
Nixvim lib.
This guy, this one.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So this is the piece that adds NixVim to the top level outputs. Is
Not
that right?
outputs.
Uh, okay.
Module arg.
That's right. Okay. Okay.
We do a similar thing for home manager, and you can see my home manager lib file.
Um, okay. In this case, the need to do the NixVim lib overlays, that does not, there's no parallel to that in the context of home manager.
That's right. It has no need to provide an overlay, apparently.
I think you've named it as camel or whatever this case is. I have something slightly, should this match the, okay, no, there's a naming pattern that I'm noticing here I'm just making sure I'm doing this right. You have, what is this, camel case, or what's the name for lowercase first letter?
Camel case. This is camel
Yeah,
case.
yeah, but then
And that's
snake
like
case.
the default casing in Nix.
Mm-hmm.
Exceptions are kebab case for like external things, I want to say.
Okay.
Package names. Maybe things that end up that end up as files. This is like file naming file name casing. This is the file name casing in Nix. It's kebab case.
I see. Interesting. Okay.
So it applies to home manager to inputs, flake inputs, packages. So your store paths. Also, like identifier strings. Okay?
Okay. 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 Um,
We have the input, we have the lib.
yep. Yep.
What we want now is probably
Maybe the NixOS stuff or
yeah, I think we'll go for the NixOS one.
okay.
And
So
looking at mine now, I'm like I want to make changes. This was a long time ago.
sure.
Not necessarily this file. This file probably kept in better shape. What do you see here?
Okay, so we have a file in modules home manager called nixos.nix, which is settings and attributes in base and in PC under the NixOS attribute. And let's see, so the base part of it. Okay, so this imports line is, I think, where the connection between NixOS and home manager is happening.
What is imported?
Yeah, so the home manager NixOS module, I presume, is what's getting imported here.
True. That would be a directory with a default .nix inside of it.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay, which is what we talked about is there's like the standalone way and then there's the NixOS modules way. And this is the NixOS module way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then this piece is this home manager attribute set the same as some of the, I guess, let me just see.
What are you looking for?
I was just looking at like some of the stuff that is being set in here and just wondering if these are things that are what would have, been found in a home manager home.nix in a standalone setting. And it looks like at least some of it is maybe like the state version. Which are you're kind of coupling the system state version with the home state version. And
Yes,
then what else here? Okay, as well as
but this is wrong. This is like I already see how this is not
it,
this is suboptimal
like
because I
this
do this.
or more generally.
This is correct, but like I do this only for the two parts of it that bothers me.
Mm.
one is that I do this only for one user. I probably do this for my wife's user separately, but
Mm-hmm.
I should do this once for all users.
Mm-hmm.
So there's an option for that. And the second thing that bothers me is that I'm bringing my username from like somewhere else. That there's no benefit in that.
Like so
Not
this
like I'm
bit
going
here,
to change my username.
you would rather just like name it out here as opposed to refer to it through that
Yes.
variable. Okay, or through that attribute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Although I guess in a situation like where you have different machines may have the different usernames for the same person. I guess is that in that scenario, like that's actually a real thing for me at work. My username on my work machine is different from my home machine. Would you just put two entries then, or would you still use this approach here?
I think this does not necessarily set the username.
Okay.
I think this can be overridden. Like the effective username can be. I don't think even the user, like the users dot, yeah, the users dot name, that name is, maybe it by default is used for some things, but it can probably be overridden.
Okay.
So you want to,
Yeah. So I guess
what is the next, thing that you see there?
um so then it's importing this line here. So that is the essentially this um not that is it well it's going to import this base thing which we have yet to create in a new context. uh this base is a yeah, okay, that's inside of NixOS. um okay, yeah, so I guess the NixOS base is importing home manager base in addition to that state version, and then NixOS PC is grabbing the home manager GUI stuff, which I guess is because you have some user level graphical GUI applications that you put into that attribute.
I made this distinction of two named home manager modules
Mm,
with the idea that this will probably grow large, and at some point, if I ever want a home on a headless machine, I will simply use only the base and omit the GUI.
I see. Okay. Makes sense. Okay. So for, yeah, maybe like a Raspberry Pi that you're running as a server or something. Yeah. Okay. Um, so I should probably create a similar file.
Yep. And I think it actually, I would recommend doing several changes here.
Mm-hmm.
I think the state version part will not even be here.
Okay, so get rid of all of that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Also, yeah. So set your user name hard codedly. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I would recommend not doing this dot imports thing, because whenever I cross a module boundary, I want to make it visual.
Okay.
I don't
What do
want to
you
cross a
mean?
module boundary with a dot notation. Users.look is
Mhm.
a home manager module.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? So
So
users.look equals
okay.
attr set yeah,
Like, you mean like this essentially? Even it's,
correct.
it's it's just a slightly more obvious way of making it clear that that this is a module. Okay.
Yes. But look, config.flag.modules.homemanager.base is a home manager module. So you don't need to go through imports. Just, that can be the module. It's the only thing here.
So you're saying, sorry, you're saying remove imports, or what do you mean?
Yes. Users.look
Hmm.
equals config flake modules home manager base.
Okay. Why does that look funny to me? Okay.
Terminate the
Okay. So
attribute.
in that we will have an imports line in that base somewhere else. Is that right or no? I
Imports is the attribute for importing more modules into the current module.
mm-hmm.
In this scope, all that is important is that base is a home manager module.
Okay. Okay. I think that makes
Do you
sense then.
see the problem indicator
Problem
visually?
indicate.
Does it shout at you?
No.
I don't
Sorry.
have line numbers either, but like after the word base.
That.
Yes.
Right, get
There
rid
was
of it.
one, right? I don't
Hmm?
know if there was. I'm not sure that there was a problem indicator.
No, I don't think it's set up currently. I had it with my NixCats set up, but I don't have it currently set up with NixVim. This global packages, what does that pertain to? Should we have that true?
You can find that in the home manager manual. You should probably learn to navigate that.
Mhm.
No, there's no way that you Google that. It's just, yeah, Google the mat, and in this table of contents, scroll to the bottom of the table of contents, not the bottom of the page.
Mhm.
Yeah. And now you have Appendix B, NixOS configuration options.
Mm.
These are options that are created, they're declared by the Home Manager NixOS module. So these are NixOS options, right?
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Okay. So this ensures that the packages used in Home Manager are the same as those used at the system level.
The the PKGs, right? The Nix
PKG.
packages instance.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
It is inherited.
Okay.
Now, I don't think that this should be here either.
Like it should be in a different file, or you
Yeah,
should not have it.
yeah. I think yes. I think it should be under. Do you have a Nix packages instance file already?
Mm,
All this Nix packages related stuff should be in one place.
I don't think I have. Yeah, I don't. But there
Okay.
is
Then
this. Yes. This is empty.
that's okay. Well, this is probably where it belongs.
Okay. So, let's see.
Hmm.
Uh,
You've just crossed a module boundary. You can do what you're doing,
mhm.
but and I did this before. I thought, oh, this is cool. But I really want a visual indication. Uh, the module is what is this? Base, right?
Mhm.
Base is a named NixOS module.
Right. Okay. Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes. See, this is the Nix package's concern.
Right.
Then you can remove it from there. That actually is a different option that I want to have on, but there's an issue.
Hmm. So this means if a user wants to override the
Can you show me, before I can explain this to you, can you show me the issue that I've listed there so that it
Sure.
will remind
Yeah.
me this context? Yeah, I'm definitely making a note for myself to fix this stuff in
Is
my
this?
config. Modules, Nix packages. No, modules, home manager, NixOS. Okay. Right. I remember that this has to do with XDG desktop portal. This is kind of a complex thing. Let's not get into it. I don't completely
Yeah.
understand this.
Okay.
And I don't think it's important. At some point, I had difficulty using XDG desktop portal. That's no longer the case. Let's just scrap this.
Okay.
Don't go into it.
So
You don't
for
even
now,
need the comment either.
yeah,
Not
I'm just
going
gonna.
to help you.
Yeah. Okay, and then I guess for my purposes initially, do I want to have a base and a PC module or no?
I like this. We already have. You already do have n- a base and a PC NixOS named module, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I guess I don't have um home manager.gui.
Right.
Also, this should be presumably
I think
set
it's
up
a
this.
solid idea. Sometimes, it's sometimes you want a headless machine and you still want your home there, but you know what? Not
Yeah.
your browser, right?
Um,
The module boundary is home manager dot users dot look.
mhm.
That's a module, right? So you can do more flat. You can in line 11 as well. Home manager is not a module. It's an adder set of users, right?
Uh,
It's an adder set of more options. Sorry. Yes,
like
that's
this.
what I meant.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. But if you do PC dot, then you'd be stepping over a module boundary.
I see. Okay.
I like this.
Hmm.
It represents something to me. So that's how I do it.
Okay.
So this simply brings in your home modules, right? Base to base and GUI to PC.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
Maybe it should be PC to PC. Maybe not GUI. I don't know. I at the level of the system, it is a PC. At the level of
Hmm.
the home, you can't call it a PC. It's just the fact that this home has GUI applications, I suppose.
Right. I guess just to give me some context, the things you put in the GUI are what types of things?
GUI apps. Any app that
Okay.
has a GUI is not text mode. They're not CLI or text mode.
So your browser, your Inkscape, your
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
These type of things. Okay.
Anything with a GUI.
Okay.
Anything that
Yeah.
expects Wayland X
Mhm. Okay. Seems reasonable to me.
or
Uh,
maybe audio.
mm,
Mm.
right.
All right. So that's one part of it. Another part
Yeah.
of it is the state version. Did we do that? We didn't do that yet.
Um, we got rid of that. We yeah. I think
Let's do it.
this is on the bottom left here. This is your on the left here is your
Mm-hmm.
setup, and
Yeah,
we
this should be in the
it needs to be in the
like
base.
you already have. Um, actually, okay. So let me think. I don't know. This is about inheritance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that the state version is inherited from NixOS to Home Manager is at the point of contact between NixOS and Home Manager,
Hmm.
which is exactly this file, right? So yes, it should be here.
Okay. So it needs to be in the imports then, or sorry, yeah. So it currently the state version stuff was um
Let's ask the right question. What option are we trying to set?
um I guess home.state version.
Okay. And that's a what option? What class?
Um I'm not sure. I mean it's a yeah,
What
I don't
configuration class? NixOS or Home Manager?
home manager.
Right. So
So
currently on line 11, we're doing this, no, not a literal module, but just by reference to base. Instead of that, let's do a literal module. And in that literal module, import this base. And then we could add an explicit option.
okay. I'm not sure I follow how to do that. But yeah, I'm feeling a bit confused. So are you
Home
suggesting
Manager users look
mhm,
equals function that takes OS config, that takes, yeah, yeah. We need the OS config. I mean, it takes an adder, they all take an adder set because that's like the module system, right? And we do a pattern to get OS config, and it of course returns an adder set because that's what module functions do.
mhm.
In this adder set, we do both things. We need to set that option and import config flake modules in Home Manager base.
Okay. Um why does that do that? So
Imports. That's how a module imports another module. You have auto formatting. All you need to do is save, right?
it doesn't work, unfortunately. I'm not sure why.
Mm. Because it's a
Uh
new file, right?
yes, I think that was what happened before. When I closed Nixbin or
Close the
Neogame.
buffer and open it again. Save.
No.
Now, can you actually close the buffer and not quit? Just, like BD? Is that a difference? Okay. Is that there now?
Mm-mm.
No. What happens if you restart the editor?
Let's see.
Yeah. Can you start the editor without this? Without a path? Okay, hold on just a moment with this. Unable to find Xfront entry point. Using saved settings. Yada yada. We're calling the head built in. while the option home manager does not exist. The option home manager does not exist definition value in nix packages.nix. Mm-hmm. When the option home manager does not exist, it's because it's not imported yet. The home manager NixOS module is not imported yet. But we can see that in the file above, it is imported, right, into exactly base.
When you say, yeah,
The home manager NixOS module. I don't have line numbers, so I can't.
Darn it.
That's
Is there
okay.
a way to get?
We don't need it. I saw it. Line
Okay.
9.
Mm-hmm.
As soon
great.
as the home manager NixOS module is imported into NixOS, then NixOS will have home manager options. Now, maybe this file is not tracked yet.
That is correct.
So git add and open your editor. Now, whatever Nix file you open, now you have a syntax error somewhere. Okay, yeah, we have a syntax error here.
Mm-hmm.
See it?
Yes.
It's in the line 13. It tells you with a pointy thing where it is. End of line. Semicolon. It's a list.
Um,
Okay.
okay. There.
Did it just format?
Yes.
That's nice because like I was concerned that we might need to restart the editor after fixing this.
Right.
But it seems that it formatted. So that's nice.
Yeah. Okay. So
now you have a function module, so you can add that option, right?
this was, oops. Yeah. So
Just grab it and
is this? Yeah. Is this what? Yeah. For some reason, I'm still confused about the fact that we're doing imports here, but here we are nesting the imports inside of this module function. Whatever.
well, on the left on line 16,
Mm-hmm.
there is a overstepping the module boundary.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It's unnecessary. Yours is nicer. Yours is more concise.
Okay. Okay, okay, yeah, yeah. I guess, yeah, this imports where my cursor is on line 15 is at the same level in the resulting attribute set as on line 16 of your file, right?
Say again, please.
So this imports here is
Mm-hmm.
at the same level as this imports here, correct?
Um,
It's
kind
like
of, mostly.
users.
I mean, yours is a function. You have a function module there, and I have a attr set module there,
Okay.
like
So like
an
a function
implicit.
module, the return is like the return value of that function module as the imports
Mm-hmm.
at the top level of the attribute, which ends up at the same level as
Well, one thing about the module system is levels don't matter. What's a level?
just like,
Does the graph of which module imported which module important to you? Maybe sometimes, but they just end up all merging together.
okay. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so I do have I have a meeting in just 10 minutes effectively. So
Okay.
at least I think I do. So just confirm that. Okay. So I think, I don't have this GUI stuff set up yet, but I presumably need it in place for this to work.
You don't have base either.
Right. Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I guess that's maybe the next step.
So I suggest let's comment out GUI
Okay. TBD.
and there. Let's try active. We need to at least do a stub. So let's try not importing anything. Let's try commenting out the line 16.
That
Let's see
means okay.
whether home manager tells us what it needs. Maybe there are some like minimal set of options that needed.
Okay. So just uh what do I do? Nix flake
NixOS
check.
rebuild test. Assuming all the files are added. Sudo.
One thing I noticed in this is just an aside, on boot after we moved my Etsy configuration.nix and hardware configuration.nix into this setup, and then I, activated it and rebooted.
Mm-hmm.
My external keyboard would no longer work to unlock the full disk encryption. I had to use the laptop keyboard.
Interesting.
Yeah. just one observable difference that I
Well,
noticed.
we have to start with, we're like, we didn't bump. We made efforts to keep the same Nix packages revision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we used nixdiff to see that, yeah, there were no keyboard related
Yeah.
changes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you might have bumped Nix packages.
Right.
So
It could be unrelated.
because most of the changes in our most of the most of the breaking changes, most of the undesirable changes, they have to do with Nix packages bumps. They come from Nix packages bumps.
So I think at this point now I have something that. So the command succeeded, but now my
Don't close this shell and start a
yeah.
new shell. Okay. So you have a blank home manager generation now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Which is not very helpful.
No, but it should be fairly straightforward to move all the things I had in my previous home manager into the new one, I would
In a
imagine.
dendritic manner.
Of course.
Or intentionally in a non-dendritic manner, like
Just
just
to get parity with what we had.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah. Okay. So I guess in the interest of time, I do need to go in 5 minutes, but let's see. To do that, if we can close this. This is the state of my. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't need all of this, but maybe. I mean, I guess maybe this is naive. Would just simply copying this home.nix into modules home manager in the new
let's start
setup.
by just copying everything, and I'll quickly tell you what modifications you need.
Sure. Okay. So let me just do that at the command line.
While you're in this, okay. So on the right, let's start on the right. Do import base. You know what? Let's not call it base. Let's call it legacy or something.
Legacy base, yeah, or legacy, yeah.
Just legacy.
Okay.
And maybe bring back another line that has base commented out, because that's what we want to end up with. Cool. All right. And make sure you git add this,
I guess.
or maybe name it legacy. I don't know what if it's important now.
Um.
Home.
Oh, fun.
Just stop using this shell.
Okay. Um. Which shell shall I use? Still have this one.
You don't have git. Well, we can do without git. That's fine.
Okay.
As long as you have the editor. All right, on the left.
Yeah.
From this whole thing needs to be nested
Inside
inside
of.
Flake modules, Home Manager.
Okay, so
Oh, no, no, not there. Top level, right? This whole thing. This is a function module. Yes. Flake modules, Home Manager, legacy equals that. Don't wrap it. That's what it is. And no need to format it manually. Go to the end. Give us a semicolon there.
mm-hmm. Okay.
Hmm? Does it format?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Go to the top. Remove config. Is it used here at all? Unlikely. I saw one. Okay, so use home args, perhaps. Not here. This is
Uh-oh.
not there either. Line 4, but before the curlies. Home args at. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Go to where config is used, and it'll be homeargs.config.
Okay.
Let's try it. What am I looking at? Home manager missing.
Home manager missing.
Config flake modules home manager. Well, that one is it git added or what's the status there?
I can't tell you. I
Use
haven't.
git from within your NeoVim that is open. No, that's not how it works. Okay, use Nix shell to obtain git.
Okay.
Unless you have a meeting now. The git status git add and sudo
where was it? Okay, so I have some unfree stuff I gotta fix.
comment out this Canon cups thing for now.
Which thing?
Presumably in that home legacy,
Oh, okay.
we have a Canon package that is unfree.
Okay.
And Google Chrome.
Any others that off the top of your head look like they might be unfree?
Maybe unzip. No, I don't think so. Try it.
I'm gonna just do a few of these specifics. Yeah, I did that. That's okay. But I really do gotta go. Okay. I will.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Progress. Thank you. Oh,
Enjoy.
yeah. Um,